Hello, my name is Leila Sanchez, and this is my assignment 2.1 Life and Death Game/Landmine Evasion Overview. To briefly explain the component pattern, it takes individual elements of an object. In my game, for example, the health and health player components, and makes them into smaller, more modular parts that can be added to objects as needed. Looking at my 2-2 health component folder, you can see that my health player is actually a child class of my health component over here. I use these elements throughout my other blueprints as well. The player is also able to die. So let's go into the health blueprint and take a look at that. I'm going to open up the die function as soon as it loads. All right. So this is actually an instance where later on I found out a bug in my game where if this was attached to the die function, that this game over widget would display every time my character died rather than ran out of lives. So I moved that somewhere else in my code, this entire block, and I was able to fix that. But this is my die function, super simple to explain. This will be displayed in my standalone build later on. So they just have the destroy actor node, and then we get the owner of it. Looking at my heal function as well, you'll see I added custom inputs that can be adjusted right over here. Moreover, I also created a macro library under my blueprints main folder. So let me get that open. This is the macro library, and you'll see I have one macro present within the library. This can be called throughout the game at any point. Opening this up, you'll see that this is just a simple function that is commonly used to get the validity of if the player pawn is the one intersecting with another actor in the game. I use this in 2 instances in my game. Let's take a look at those. In my landmine event graph over here, you'll see that I took advantage of this macro and I called it, and it functions perfectly. I also went above what was included in the examples and used this in my healing bubble blueprint as well. On my event actor begin overlap, ensure that the player is pawn, and then that'll determine whether or not it'll heal the player. I also created a simple user interface that displays player health in my UI folder over here. Looking into that, it also has custom functions that update my widget. This is a very simple health bar, and this is the functions, my custom functions that I created in order to update the UI based on game inputs. Alright, and I also created custom inputs as well. In the event graph, I have nothing. I also created the main menu and game over widget with functioning buttons as well as on-clicked events. Looking at this, you'll see I have a text box, I've got my buttons here, and I did a little bit of customization within this as well, where when it's hovered, pressed, or just its normal appearance, the tint will change, so that way the person playing the game will know that they are actually doing something different than the default settings. Alright, I would also like to display the new level that I had to create to house my main menu without the player pawn or the game world spawning. So let's get into that. Open. Opening this main menu map that I created, you'll see that it is just a blank world with nothing much to it. And something neat about this is that I was able to edit my project settings. Going under edit here, project settings, project, maps and modes. I ended up changing under this default maps here, the game default map to spawn the main menu map level first, because I was actually able to, let's see, create this game menu mode where it doesn't spawn an actor on load. And now I will demonstrate my standalone build that I was able to successfully cook. I'll exit out of this. Here is the icon for my landmine explosion. So let's go ahead and get that open. There was a bit of a bug when I clicked on the icon to open the game, so I had to open it through where I save my projects, under my stage builds and then Windows folder, and then I just double click this icon right here, this application icon. Getting into the game, I have my simple on start screen, so I could start a new game. I could quit directly to desktop, so I'll demonstrate that first. Actually last, I'll do that last. So we'll start a new game. And we're all loaded in. My general game idea, I'm gonna speak before I start playing because it's a bit loud, was to make a simple obstacle course. I have some instant kill landmines quotations and some just simple damaging landmines. On collision, they will trigger and damage my player character. You'll see my health is also going down by an increment of 1. And that was an instant kill, so there you go. That one was also an instant kill. I'm gonna run along the sides just so I don't run out of lives quite yet. This is also my heal bubble I have. When you collide with it, it plays a little tune just so that way the player is also gonna know that they're doing something good for themselves. So I'll just show you that it is functioning. Take away 2 health. Run into that, gives you 1 at a time. And you could collide with it multiple times. That one was an instant kill, and it'll start you over from the beginning, so there are no checkpoints just yet. And I would increase the difficulty if I were to release this as well. And then I have this special bubble, go through it. My finish line, I created a trigger box here, so when I collide with this, it should bring up my game over screen. Perfect. And this is functioning as well. You'll see when I mouse over, it changes colors, and also when I click, it will also change colors. I will first demonstrate the main menu button from this game over screen. And it'll bring you back to the start, and we could start new game or quit game to desktop. And we're back at it. I'm gonna instant kill myself 3 times, so that way I could, well, I guess that was the 3 times. Well, there you go. I shall now demonstrate that when I quit the game, it'll successfully exit back to the desktop. Thank you for watching. That has been my game overview.